What's up, everybody? Merissa V. Grayson here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a child custody and family law attorney, mediator, and co-parent coach, also known as America's blended family expert. Some of you know me as a child custody consultant. Either way it goes, if you're new here, welcome. Thanks for tuning in to Merissa V TV, where we talk all things blended family. And today, we're going to be talking about dealing with your child's school when you and your child's other parent are divorced, separated, or otherwise co-parenting. So this is really an issue that comes up in my practice quite often. There's usually a situation where, the parties are to share joint legal custody. That means that basically the parents are required to meet and confer and discuss whatever decisions are going to be made to the child about the child's education, medical decisions, extracurricular activities, travel out of state, all of that stuff. So if you and the other parent share in those decision-making responsibilities, then chances are you probably have joint legal authority, right? It's called all kinds of things depending on the state that you live in. Some states call it shared parental responsibility. In California, we call it joint legal custody. Some people call it joint legal authority. Whatever is called in your state, same principle, right? So if you're in that situation, one thing that's common is that when the parties don't get along, one parent will go to the school and say, hey, I'm the parent that you need to contact for everything. Let me know about conferences. Let me know about my child's grades. If there's an emergency, call me. Don't call the other parent, right? The other parent can't come and withdraw the child from the school. They just make all of these demands to the school as though that is what is the legal standard that must be followed. And in a lot of situations, again, if there's that joint legal responsibility or authority, then they technically aren't supposed to be doing that. The problem is that the school is not a mind reader. The school does not know what's going on in your case, and the school may not even necessarily know if you and your child's other parent hate each other. So while they're sending out correspondences and things like that to one parent, they may not even know that you exist as the other parent, especially if you're not involved. So I just want to give a couple of tips on things that you can do to make sure that the school is well aware that you're not only the child's parent, but that you're also a very involved parent who wants to be a part of your child's education. So step one is to make sure that if there are custody orders in place, that the school has a copy of your custody orders. Seems like a simple step, but it's a step that's often missed and a reason why the schools don't communicate with both parents. So you need to make sure that the school knows that you have the right to make decisions related to your child, to be involved with your child, and to participate in their education. So get a copy of the orders to the school if you haven't already done so. Don't depend on the other parent to do it, because they're not going to do it. If they don't want you to be involved, they're not going to submit a copy of something that says you have the right to be involved to the school. That's on you. That's not on them. So make sure you do that. The next thing, step two, that you need to make sure that you do is make sure you're involved at your child's school. That means go and introduce yourself to the school staff, the administrators, the principal, the office staff, the secretaries, the janitor, the security guards. Everybody at that school should know who you are. They should know who you are, who your child is, and they should know that you are very active in your child's life. So if that means one day you got to take a break and go have lunch with your child, then you do that. If you need to schedule an appointment to meet with the principal so that you can just discuss what's going on with your child and the school, then do that to make sure that the school knows that you're involved. And then the last thing that I think is very important is to make sure that you request that the school send copies of everything that they're sending to the other parent to you. Yes, it may be a little more burdensome on the school, but it's the school's responsibility to make sure that you as a parent have access to your child's education and the information if you insist it. So that means go and provide your address. Let them know, me and the other parent, we may not always communicate and I may not always receive the information I need. So it would be really helpful if you could send a copy of, parent-teacher conference meetings or appointment requests, events that are scheduled, award ceremonies, things of that nature to my home too, to make sure that I'm involved. Now, I also know that, it's 2018. A lot of schools are now shifting over to the electronic systems. So you can also request access to, be able to log in and see what your child's progress is like in there as far as their grades are concerned, to see what events are coming up. Just follow up and find out exactly how this school operates. Request a copy of the school student handbook and the school manual so you can know how things are done, as well as the initial documents that are provided at the orientation when the school first starts every year that explains how the teacher is operating, what they do every week, how do they provide homework assignments, how do they check it, and things of that nature, so you'll be well aware of what's going on. So the bottom line is just make sure you're proactive. You can't depend on the other parent to provide everything that's needed to you. So you want to make sure that you have access to it, because if you have the joint legal custody or the joint authority, you have that right. You just have to make sure that they know that you have the right. So that's all I have for today. For those of you who aren't following me yet, please hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I am Merissa, Merissa V as in Victor, Grayson, Grayson on all platforms. And I will see you next time.